Hey everybody, I'm Bob Bakert with Jazz Guitar Today. We're here today with Zakk Jones. And before we get started, I'd like to remind you that it really helps us out if you like our material to subscribe, like, share, follow, talk about us, help us out. It really makes a difference. We've been doing this for 5 years, I guess now, and it really does make a difference to have. Can you remember that? Anyway, please subscribe, everybody. Please subscribe. So we're here today with Zakk Jones. I love this. An
Yeah.
Ohio-based guitarist, band leader, composer, and educator. I knew you when. I mean, you've been hanging around us since the beginning. You were one of our
Yep.
very first contributors. You
Yep.
were you were not starting in school. You were in school at the time. I
Yeah, I
think
think I
we're
maybe just finished probably. Yeah.
Was that about right? Because
hmm
then you started on your master's and so you've obviously finished all that and now you're back teaching.
Yes, yes, I am.
So I don't like to do too much history, but tell people a little bit about what you're doing now.
Sure. Well, so now I finished my master's at Bowling Green State University. Super happy to have studied there. And now I'm teaching at my alma mater where I got my undergraduate degree, Capital University. That's in Columbus, Ohio. They've had a great jazz program. It's really actually one of the longest jazz programs in the country since the early 70s,
Mhm.
tied in with the Jazz Arts Group, which is the oldest nonprofit jazz organization in the country. So there's a lot of history in Columbus, and I'm super excited to be teaching the big band there. I've got guitar ensembles and guitar students, so that keeps me very busy. And in addition, I'm teaching guitar at Truman State University remotely because they're in Missouri, so I'm not
Right.
driving out there. And that's a bit of a different story because they've never had a guitar teacher. So I'm kind of building the guitar studio and helping them
Yeah.
out there. So yeah, very diverse set of things I'm doing. I'm very blessed.
Yeah, but very, very cool. So I got to know you through when I was at Eastman,
Yep.
and that's where we first got together and all of that. And I remember seeing a video of you in high school
Oh, oh
playing
no.
playing the Star Spangled Banner a la Jimi Hendrix, complete with full pyrotechnics, full
Full
pyrotechnics.
pyrotechnics on a flying
And
ESP guitar. Yeah. Yeah.
and and then I said, but there was no doubt about it. The talent was there. I mean, you were kicking some ass back then.
For
It was
better or worse, I feel like I peaked back then. So I don't know.
yeah. Well, no, it was great. I loved it. I absolutely loved it.
Yeah.
And so from there, so now when I'm watching, like the things that you're doing on YouTube, you're I'm trying to figure out a good name for guys like you because there are a few guys in your age, if you were age range, that are playing. They're playing jazz, but it's definitely it's not the old school jazz. It's
Sure.
and I don't want to call it modern jazz because that was a whole thing in the 50s.
Yeah.
And
Right.
contemporary jazz sounds like your father's mustache. It's a really new progressive kind of thing using all the language because guys like you have studied, you've got a master's, you know what you're doing on the instrument. So
Sure.
the choices that you're making are educated choices. And but what do you call your style? What do you call the style that you play when you're not playing? When I go one more thing, when you're not playing Lagrange.
Yeah. All right. Fair enough. Fair enough. Um, yeah. Yeah. I my personal like I kind of someone called it farm jazz, and that's like my because like I've been in Ohio for over a decade, and I love to pull in like the folk and Americana and
Hmm.
also soul and gospel and like all of those into a trio jazz context. Some
Right.
people have called it farm jazz. Some people call it, like a lot of my friends, we call it jazz adjacent.
Jazz adjacent.
Yeah,
I
that's
dig
the
that.
term. That's the term I've heard quite a lot.
Yeah.
And again, it's kind of like a nothing burger. Like who knows what it means, but you can kind of fill it up with whatever you want.
Yeah.
So it sort of works.
Yeah. No, I like that. That's the best thing I've heard so far.
Yeah.
Um, and you do work with a trio. Well, the reason we're here today, and we're not going to keep you too long,
Oh
but
no.
you've been obviously you've been a great contributor for us. We love your stuff. you know, and all the things that you have you know, posted to us in Jazz Guitar Today have been really, really popular. You know, we're
Oh,
forever grateful to you, and we take whatever you want to give us anytime you want to give it to us. But we realize you're a busy guy. So in addition to holding down a whole lot of gigs, as it were, as an educator,
yeah,
you know, you know, you're a performer. You're a recording artist now,
yeah,
and you're a performer. And so the real reason we're talking today is to let people know that you have a new record out, and you're supporting that record with the tour. So we
yes.
want to talk about your record. Tell us about your record. What's going on there?
Okay, so this record is called "In My Life," of course, titled after the great Beatles song, which we do cover.
Hmm.
And this session kind of, I had no intentions for it. One of my best friends is a drummer named Matheson Nishkwan, and his first drum teacher has a studio out in Northwest Ohio. It happens to be really close to where I was getting my master's.
Hmm.
So he was like, "Hey, let's book a couple days. I'll be in town. Let's just see what happens." And we did everything live. I had 2 days and two different bassists, and we just played tunes that I liked, kind of in the more funk fusion rock e vein, but of
Yeah.
course with the jazz trio tendencies. So I do a little bit of Earth, Wind, and Fire. I do some D'Angelo. I do the Beatles. I do Herbie Hancock. So kind of that vein of my trio playing, which I have not really recorded yet,
Hmm.
because my first trio record is more in that quote unquote modern jazz type thing,
Right. Yeah.
whatever that might mean. But this is kind of a different strain of my trio playing with electric bass. And again, I had no intentions, but after listening back, I was really, really excited about the product we were playing, just really live and in the moment, and also serving the music. I felt like all of us, it was a very democratic style of playing where we were all soloing or none of us were soloing. It kind of didn't matter. We were all just serving the song and making each other sound better.
Well, that's really, really cool. I find that more prevalent with younger players, and I'm not trying to rip on the older guys, but younger players seem to be a lot more boy, I hate to say this, I'm gonna get in a lot of trouble for this, but a lot more collaborative. You know, you really feel like when I see a lot of the older guys play, you know, um it's just a different it's a different I just the younger guys like yourself playing this jazz adjacent music, it seems like a really you know, it's the sum of the parts, if you will. You know, you
Right.
know, you're all very, very tuned into each other in a tapestry form, whether not so much this instrument, that instrument, and this instrument.
Yeah,
It's you know, you're weaving those instruments, and everybody's like really, really got big ears, you know, huge ears.
sure.
And I love that. It's really, really great. So keep talking, because I'm doing too much talking as you're
Oh
introducing.
no, not at all. I mean, I think I understand where you're coming from for sure. I think what I do and what my peers do is all informed from the groundwork that so many great artists have laid for us. And I certainly do tend to listen to groups and artists that are collaborative as a group and that really stretch things. I just love, even when I'm teaching, when I'm playing, I love to subvert expectations. Like, I don't like to do head solos, then then bass solo, then drum trading. I like to do everything turned up on its head. Or maybe no one was solo. Like on "In My Life," for example, the last tune on the record, I just play the tune. There's no solo. I do the little harpsichord thing. I just play it as is. And to me, that's really important because I've kind of come from, playing in rock and wedding bands where I'm playing a part. And I do find that it is really important to be able to serve the music in a way that is just kind of presenting it as it was intended and not taking a solo sometimes. So I love stretching as far as I can, but I also love just presenting it as is because there's some beauty in both of those worlds.
Well, I saw that you did, you know, you got a whole bunch of YouTube stuff. You know, people want to check out your playing for sure. You did You Are the Sunshine of My Life, and you played it pretty straight, really.
Oh yeah,
To your
yeah.
point, to your point, you played
Mhm.
it pretty straight, and the melody is definitely there. You revoiced the melody quite a bit, which is really great. I mean, I love the way you're doing it. But that speaks to that. So I highly recommend that people, check out your stuff on YouTube. So when's the record coming out?
It's gonna drop September 15th,
All right, and
online everywhere.
the title of it is called In My Life.
In my life, you got it.
It's a trio record. It's basically live in the studio.
Yep, all live.
Yeah, that's my favorite stuff is
Um,
live. I want to hear what you really can play. I don't want to hear what, you know, what I don't want to hear what Pro Tools tells us you can play. I want to hear what you really can play.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's really cool. And then you're backing it up with a tour. So tell us about the tour.
Yeah, so the tour, we got some dates in October. So on October 1st, we're playing at Ginger Rabbit in Columbus, a great new jazz club that actually opened up this year. I've been grateful to play there pretty much every week since they've opened. Super cool spot. October 5th, we're going to go out to Bloomington, where Indiana University is. Of course, a great, historic jazz program. John Raymond, the new trumpet, more recent trumpet professor there, hosts a series at a bar called Blockhouse Bar. So that'll be either Wednesday night, the 5th. And then that next week, we're going to go more on the road. We'll be hitting Buffalo the 12th, which is a Wednesday, at a place called Nietzsche's. Really cool.
My hometown.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. So we're going to play Nietzsche's. Then we're going up to beautiful Burlington, Vermont to play Radio Bean on the 13th. Wow. And then the 14th of October, we'll be in New York City at Silvana, a place I've played many times. Really great spot. Yeah. And then we're going to wrap it back up at a brewery in Columbus that Sunday, the 16th.
Yeah, I got to have a beer at the end of that, right?
Yeah, tell me about it. Yep.
So what we're going to do is you're going to send me the artwork for the album cover.
Yeah.
So that people can see that and give us all the factual stuff on that.
Right.
And then send us your blurb on where you're going to be and when you're going to be. Let's have all that. So what guitar have you got in your hands?
Oh, well, the Archtop Festival's this weekend, so I've got my beautiful Denny Kopp. This is the Bellanu model. Love this guitar. Super slick.
I'll be out there, so I'm definitely going to see you there.
Oh, I was going to ask. That's great. It's going to be a really good time.
So, In My Life, are you playing it in the original key? What have you done with it?
I didn't do anything. It's all original. It's a little bit slower. I do like taking the tune a little slower, like.
Oh, I love that. Keep playing. Oh, yeah.
So, that's kind of the vibe.
Beautiful. My dog Zakk.
That's right. Oh, Zakk, I love that.
He's singing along with you.
I gotta say, that's like the best dog name I've ever heard.
I spell it Z-A-C though. It's not Z-A-K.
Well, that's okay.
But it's pronounced the exact same way. It's pronounced Zakk.
Right. Well, yeah, I shouldn't say, but legally my name is Zachary with the CH. The KK I made up in 5th grade.
Well, that's cool. Well, listen, man.
So yeah, that's it. I just play the tune slow with the trio, and that's it's such a beautiful. Like those types of songs. It's like what can I really add as an improviser? I play around with the melody certainly, and I play it in my own way. But to me, I felt that's such a poignant song, and it's actually my drummer's mom's favorite song of all time, and she's a really close love family friend. So
yeah, it's a great. There are places I remember. Yeah, it's a great tune. But what I was going to tell you is, that's really that's not so much improv as much as arrangement.
Right.
Totally. And the arrangement is definitely very, very cool, and it's unique. I've never heard anybody play it like that at all. And you've done some really fun things with it, and the creativity is there. But not only are you doing things that are fun guitaristically, if you will, because I'm convinced that a lot of guitar players play with their eyes and not their ears. They like to see what looks cool as it's going up and down the neck.
Right.
Because what I tell people is, if you think this, if you just go on a piano. The guy's doing, he's all over the place.
Right.
So, but it doesn't look very cool on a guitar, but on a piano, it's like, oh my God, what am I doing that? Listen, man, thank you so much. Zakk Jones, Bob Bakert for Jazz Guitar Today. Zakk, please subscribe, everybody, please subscribe.
Do it.
Check out your new record, In My Life. And then if you live in Burlington, Buffalo, or wherever else the heck that tour is going to take you. Bye-bye.
All right, thanks, Bob.
Thanks, Zakk.
See ya,
man. Bye-bye.